Well, good morning, Lisa. This is Sharon on the West Coast.
Well, good morning, Sharon. This is Lisa on the East Coast. How are you today?
I am great. I actually should have said good afternoon to you, though, right?
Yes, but it's okay. I don't know if it's morning or in the afternoon or evening. I don't know which way is up today, but hey, I'm here. I do know that I'm here.
One of those days, I truly understand.
Yeah.
So, what are we talking about today?
Oh my goodness. Tips, beauty tips. One of my favorite subjects. Our top 10 beauty tips, I believe, is what we're going to be talking about today here on Coast to Coast Beauty.
That's right. I had someone mention that. Isn't your show supposed to be about beauty? And you guys are. I haven't heard no beauty tips. So like, well, let's rectify that really quick because you're right. This is about, but we're more than just beauty. I mean, beauty goes beyond lipstick and makeup and all of that. Beauty's from inside, I think.
Yes, there's not enough makeup in the world to make a person who is ugly on the inside or just not feeling beautiful on the inside, who doesn't feel good about themselves. There's not enough makeup to make up for that. So, we have to put the foundation in there before we can, and the inner foundation in there before we can put the cosmetic beauty on top.
Exactly. So I guess our first tip would be feeling good about ourselves.
Yes. Okay. Feeling good about ourselves. And if I might start, that reminds me of an article that I was reading recently. And it was an article on finding your own personal beauty style. And I thought it was going to be about one thing, but it wasn't. It was about the fact that, and it was about the inner beauty. And one of the tips it said was one of the most abused a part of that. I don't think abuse is the right word, but misused part of that is when it comes to clothing. And the article talked about, it wasn't about an article about clothing, it was about your beauty style, but it said that when you, it doesn't matter what size you are, and you buy clothes for confidence. And it said that if you squeeze yourself into a size that is uncomfortable, you will spend the day in that outfit feeling bloated, squeezed up, not really feeling beautiful and confident in yourself. You're constantly tugging on the clothes, and you just don't have the confidence that going to a bigger size and knowing that outfit feels good on you, it looks good on you. Nobody knows what size you buy but you. And so if you get that out of your head and you just buy clothes because they feel good and they look good on you without looking like you did try to squeeze. And we've all seen it. We've seen people squeezing into sizes that are too small. And it said that no one who squeezes into a size that's too small feels really good about themselves. They just don't feel really confident. The only thing that they feel is, well, thank God I squeezed into this smaller size. So I thought that was interesting to equate the inner confidence with your with the size of clothing, not the size clothing, but the fit of the clothing that you wear. So
right. That is very interesting because you're correct. We certainly, trying to put my 2 cents in here, we certainly, as women think that, okay, I don't want to go up to that next size, even though it feels much more comfortable. It's a psychological thing because when you think about it, manufacturer's sizing is different across the board. I mean, you might wear a 10 in one and a 2 in another. I mean, it's truly that diverse. So, you have to feel good on what your skin has to feel good on you.
Yes. So great tip, I thought.
Definitely.
Okay.
And
So,
especially after you've had a baby, you wanna you're struggling trying to get back into that size, that your dream size, so to speak. But whether that works out or not, it looks like Facebook has changed a lot of things here. I can't even send out. I can't. I can't share. Wow, that's
uh,
interesting.
I was looking at mine too, and I didn't have the option either. But we'll keep playing around with it until we get it. Okay,
Yeah.
so while you're playing with that, let me just talk about one of the, since you brought up that one. Let me bring up one of my what I was really searching for when I started that search and I read that article was on beauty styles. For instance, some people's styles are classic, and some people's styles are trendy. They like the newest styles. And for me, I tend to gravitate toward classic styles that don't go out of style, classic pieces, and whether it's shoes or clothing or jewelry or any of that. And then, of course, there are some people, for instance, I'll bring up my friend Cherie. She likes trendy styles. Whatever's the newest and the latest, that's what she likes to wear. And then there are some people there are several other styles, and you can research it, and you can figure out what your style is pretty easy. There are quizzes out there if you Google it. And that's what I was looking for when I stumbled across the one that said, that whatever your style is, you have to, first of all, get okay in your head that clothing has to be comfortable first. Okay. And I know for me, I bought a pair of high heel shoes recently, and my husband's eyes just got so big. He was like, oh, wow. Because I've been wearing, you talk about mom clothes. I've been buying comfortable shoes for so long. I haven't bought any, stilettos. And so I went out and bought myself a pair of stilettos last week, and he was excited. So
Men love those stilettos, don't they?
they do. Okay, but so here's the thing. Not only do you know what your style is according to clothing, and first the classic or trendy or preppy or whatever, you also need to know, and this does have to do with beauty. You have to know what your style is according to beauty. You have to know yourself. I have many conversations with my customers and potential customers about that. For instance, when they're looking for skincare, I ask them, okay, are you the type of person who will wash your face twice a day if it's needed, or, if it's necessary? For instance, if someone says to me, oh, I have oily skin, what can I do about it? I will ask them, will you be almost religious about washing your face twice a day? Because if you can, I can recommend these products. But if you're not, and then I recommend something else, because it has something to do, that always has something to do with it, because the best products in the world don't work if you don't use them correctly. So knowing your style, knowing yourself, maybe knowing your style was not the right word for it, knowing yourself and knowing your habits. And also, even if you haven't been doing it in the past, but if you're at the point where I've had all I can have with this going on right here, and I can't take anymore, I'm willing to do what it takes. And so I have had some clients say, I haven't been washing my face twice a day, but if it'll get rid of this or fix this or correct this, I will do it. I will do it. And so, and then I've had someone say, I have a client that works at Delta. She's like, I work at Delta. I get off at 3 a.m. When I get home, I'm not going to wash my face. I'm going to fall into bed. So I'll wash it when I get up. So based on her telling me that, I was able to recommend products that fit her style. So that was my number one tip is know yourself, and not just when it comes to skincare. You have to know yourself when it comes to makeup and beauty product, cosmetic products. For instance, if you want to wear a foundation, but you don't want to wash your face at night, I highly discourage that, because especially when you wear makeup, you have to be willing to wash your face at night before you go to sleep. That has to come off. Okay. And so if you're saying to me, I know I'm not going to wash my face at night, I'm just wash it in the morning, either one or two things are going to happen. You forego the makeup, or you're going to have to spend more money and more time trying to correct that damage that's going to happen while you sleep. That's just all there is to it. Okay. And so if you can choose whichever one you want, or start washing your face at night. So you got three choices. You can start washing your face at night, or you can go ahead and go to sleep with that makeup on. Understand it's going to cost you more money and more time to correct the damage that you're doing. Or you can just forego the makeup. So those are the kind of things that I'm talking about when I say know your style, know yourself, and be honest about it. Don't play games with it. It's okay. Each of us get to be who we are. All of our journeys are different, and it goes with who we are as a person. And you deserve to have a beauty consultant who understands that and who will help you find the products and that are best for you and your style.
Right. That's one of my big tips, is that if you do not ever go to bed with makeup on, because it's just not worth the damage. In addition to that, I believe that if you are wearing makeup, then you need to be on a good skincare regimen.
Yes.
Because you've got to protect your skin. Now, we know there are products on the market that can make you look beautiful and protect and help your skin to recover, as well as maintain what it has right now, and even more. So you want to look at buying a good skincare regimen. And I always say, personally, I started using skincare at the age of 11 because my mother liked to pop bumps. I mean, she would literally chase me down. And so I felt like the only control I had over that was to make sure I didn't have them.
Good choice. Good choice.
Right. So I started paying attention to my skincare at that point. And then in 1992, found a company that just blew me away with how fabulous that skincare can be. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, if you're putting stuff on your face to cover up, mask, disguise, hide, whatever, it needs to come off before you go to bed. Because first of all, our skin has a process of renewing itself. But if you have makeup gunked on there, it can't do that.
It's going to hinder it.
And it will suck into your skin and cause discolorations and all kinds of little unhappy situations.
And I will add that even though young men don't have the problem of wearing makeup, they do have some of the same skincare issues that we have, especially young teenagers or sometimes even preteens, as early as 11 to 12. And one of the things I love about the company that we're with is we have a teen skincare set that is good for young men and young ladies. And it works phenomenally. And it's not the pretty packaging that the boys don't want to be seen with. It's a pretty neutral packaging. And so when parents, and the last time I sold one was my sister, her son had some acne problems going on, and she had taken him to the dermatologist, and they were still going on. And I said, well, try this and see how it works. So far, so good. So, yeah.
I'm doing a video with one of my clients, and we're trying to do it yesterday, but it wasn't working out with his schedule. But and he's just so elated on how he has been able to get rid of razor bumps by using exfoliating his skin and hydrating it, and using our one particular cleansing cream to shave with. And he's just excited about it. He's like, yes, I want to come on and tell everybody. Like,
awesome.
Fun. Yes, men are becoming more and more aware of what their skincare needs are. And I certainly do a lot to help them find that out, because, it's just as distressing to men, I think, to have, bumps and things on your face that's not looking their best, and how wonderful it is when you're able to resolve that problem. I mean, we all feel good when we feel like we are at our best.
Yes. 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 That's true. So one of my tips, it's something that you just mentioned, exfoliating. And I will say, if I had to take my number one tip that I would give to someone, my number one beauty tip, it is number one, exfoliate regularly. I don't care if you are a man or a woman, exfoliate regularly. And I do mean your body and your face, but I'll talk about your face right now. Yes, you should exfoliate your body regularly, and you should exfoliate your face regularly. But for face, it comes up more often for me. And so, and when I do consultations, I talk about, okay, let's talk about your style. Again, your style comes in and what's going on. For instance, if you already see the damage on your face and you want immediate results, then you need what I call a mechanical exfoliator, something that's going to work right away. And so, but if you don't have a lot going on, it's just a little bit, you're starting to be concerned, or you just learn that you need to exfoliate regularly, then you can use a chemical or a botanical exfoliator. And so I use in an illustration to demonstrate the difference between the two. If you had a rusty pipe and you wanted to expose the shiny metal underneath, but it was covered in rust, you have two choices for how to get to that shiny metal underneath. You can take a Brillo pad or something, and you can scrape all that rust off, and when you finish, the pipe will be shiny. That's a mechanical exfoliator. Or you can take that pipe and you can dip it in some acid or some kind of solution, and it will melt the rust off. And when you pull it out, then that's a chemical exfoliator. And so it's the same way with our skin. Skin cells die on average. I think the average adult sheds about 50,000 dead skin cells a minute. Is it?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And that's on our whole body.
That's on our whole body. But just think about that. So that's why I say we need to exfoliate body and face. But just think 50,000 skin cells die a minute. We shed a minute. And when we're younger, our body just pushes them off. But as we get older, our systems slow down. We're not pushing them off fast. And so that's where exfoliation comes in. And of course, our face is our best asset. It's the thing that people see the first. And so if you haven't exfoliated your face in a while, if you're okay with how it looks, then perhaps you want to think about adding a chemical exfoliator, or a scrub is a mechanical exfoliator. So you're talking about an exfoliating scrub, or a what do you call the tool, microdermabrasion and tools and that kind. But a chemical exfoliator or botanical exfoliator would be alpha hydroxy or glycolic acid or salicylic acid, or some of those very popular products that are able to keep the exfoliating going. Right. Even if you exfoliate with a scrub, if you don't want it to build up again, then use one of the other things to keep it from building up as much. You can use either an alpha hydroxy or a microdermabrasion tool, or one of the other options to keep it from building back up as much. Okay.
So I agree with that. As exfoliation would be my very high on my list as well. I even say that if you are not exfoliating, it's as if you're taking a shower with your raincoat on. Because you're getting the water on you, but the effect of it is not reaching your skin.
That's good.
The skin cells die at a high rate of 50,000 a minute, but they just lay there. Yes. And without the exfoliation to break that binding that they have so that they can slough off, you're not getting rid of them. And it's preventing the healthy, glowy, happy, hydrated skin cells underneath from being able to shine forward. So they're almost half dead by the time they get a chance to even see the light of day. So
Yes,
exfoliation is a big thing
it is.
for men, women, and children.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
We're on the same page with this, Lisa. I wonder why.
And we didn't talk to each other about it
We
beforehand.
just said, let's talk about beauty tips. And of course, our beauty tips would be pretty much the same.
We were
What's your
separated
next
at
one?
first. What's my next one?
What's your next one?
Okay, my next one is about cosmetics. And it is sometimes also one of the number one profile. I might have gotten it. I flipped that around with my dyslexic tongue, but you know what I mean. Okay, so here's the thing. When it comes to makeup, it is recommended that you emphasize your eyes and downtone your lips, not very out there. Or you emphasize your lips and not so much your eyes. And that you only do both if it's stage makeup or if you are going to be need to be seen from far away. For instance, you're giving a presentation at the front of the room and your face needs to be seen from far away, then you would then put an emphasis on both. But the reality is that usually that's way too much for. Okay. Is that just me? So we can speak about that too.
Yeah, I think that was just you. I heard it, but it sounded like it originated with you.
Okay. I don't know where I'm gonna turn off I don't have a second device on in here, but I'll turn my phone off. Usually that comes from having a second. Oh, it went away. It went away. It comes from having a second device in the same room. My apologies. Okay, so yes, when it comes to wearing makeup, you would keep your, yes, you can use eye makeup and lip makeup, but having both of them be very dramatic is not your everyday look. For your everyday look, you emphasize one or the other. For instance, smoky eyes and not lips that pop. Or you got lips that say bam, and then the eyes is kind of neutral. But to do both, usually you don't do that until you are in a situation where you really need to be seen from far away, and you want your face, your entire face to stand out. So that's my next tip.
Right. Yeah, and that because we have to have a focal point. If we don't, I mean, even like you look at art or any kind of design, even you have something that is the predominant focal point. And when you do that, you kind of make people's kind of bouncing back and forth. They're not able to really see the highlight that you're trying to get them to have. Now, if you have great eyes, play up those great eyes, but tone down the lips. If you have great lips, tone down the eyes and play up the lips. But you don't want to do both. I mean, and let's say you have both great eyes and great lips, but
you're lucky.
Not on the same. What?
I said you're lucky and blessed, but you don't play up both of them.
Right. Choose one. Pick one that day.
Yes. Choose one. That's another tip. Okay, so enough for me. Let's talk about some of yours.
Well, as I said, we keep coming up with the same thing. But I'll throw in there that hydration, no matter what your skin condition is, your skin issues may be, hydration in the form of water. I recommend 8. It used to be strive for 5, but 8 is great. But I think now they're saying more like 10 is where you need to aim for, to have, no, that's a lot. It's a lot, but if you get into a regimen of timing when you drink. I mean, when I wake up first thing in the morning, I drink a whole thing of this. And then by noon, I've had at least 2.5 of this. So this is 2 8-ounce glasses is what this would cover. So by noon, I've already have half of that if I stick to my schedule. Okay. It's just a matter of.
I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible at drinking water, I'll admit. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and nutrients. There's a lot of vitamins out there for skin, hair, and nails. And then there are nutrients for skin, hair, and nails, and they are different. They do a whole different process. But they concentrate on those specific needed nutrients to keep the hydration in, for one, and secondly, to help your skin have the turnover of the collagen that we all find is so very important once we start getting over 40. What collagen? Who? No.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so hydrate. That's one of your tips. Okay.
And along with that comes moisturizing, though. You're hydrating on the inside and you're moisturizing on the outside.
Okay.
Day and night, preferably. There
Yes.
are moisturizers that are 24-hour moisturizers, but I tend to think that if your skin's got a lot of work to do during the night, let's give it a big glass of water to help it out. And that in the form of water and moisturizer.
Both. Okay. I do moisturize, almost religiously, but I don't drink the water like I should. So room for improvement there for me. All right. So hydrate. What else? What else do you have?
Well, what else I have is using as least amount of makeup as possible.
Okay.
As we get older, we tend to think that we need to use more, when the actual truth is we need to use less. And the reason being is, as that word again, collagen, as the collagen just diminishes in our skin, it causes the skin to kind of hollow in and to show lines and wrinkles and little just things that we don't want to see. Imperfections. And what we don't want to do is to put heavier makeup over it, because that makes it more pronounced. So we want to lighten up our makeup. And there's some tricks that you can do in particular areas of where your collagen tends to decrease, which under your eyes is one. And first thing is, do not put on concealer the way you see the young girls do it on YouTube. That is for the young girls on YouTube. You want to use a concealer that's going to cover up the dark and the hollowing, because a lot of times the dark circles that you get there's two causes of them. Well, one cause, which is the loss of collagen, but two ways it can go. One, it can be shadowing, and the other one can be discoloration in terms of its red or blue showing up. And you can use a well, it's not saying something, but for the when it's a color, you can use a color corrector to deal with that. But if it is a shadow, then the color corrector is not going to quite take care of that. But there are some other things you can do to figure out which one is which. If it's a shadow, what you want to do is close your eyes, take a flashlight, and with your other eye, because you don't want to shine the light directly in your eye, of course, kind of holding it down. See whether the shadow, the dark circle, or the dark lines move. if they move, it's a shadow, obviously. So, I'm sorry.
I said, nice. Nice.
So, okay. So if you're covering up something that's not a cause, that the cause is not where you're going to color correct, then what you want to do is 2 steps. You want to put a color under the eyelid, but very, very, very lightly. You want to, when you're putting it on, you want to look up. I mean, just if you take your finger and look up, you can feel to see how your finger moves on its own. So looking up, you want to put the concealer kind of going upward so that you kind of blur out those lines that are going to be there. And then you're going to take a concealer that's just barely lighter than what you would generally use. Now, this right here would be like you want it to match the skin as close as possible. But after that, very lightly looking up, doing that, then you're going to take the one that's going to be having the shadow. And the shadow is because, your eyebrows, your nose, just the light doesn't shine. I mean, if we had, like candles walking before us, that would just be perfect, but it's not in real life. So we get these shadows. So you take just a tiny bit, really tone back your concealer tremendously, ladies. And you just take that little tiny bit that's just a tiny bit lighter and just put it right in the corner where it is that heavier crease so that it's lighter. The purpose of it being lighter is you're not getting it in the creases so that it's all gunked up and making it so visible that you've got on concealer. You're looking up so that you kind of swooping it up and blurring it out. It's more effective. Now, if it is color correction, then you go with the color wheel and look at what colors would neutralize for your skin tone. Mm-hmm. But you cannot wear makeup the same way as we get older. We just can't. We've got to lighten it up in texture and amount and all of that. Sorry.
Yeah. So 45 and 25, not the same techniques, even if you're using the same makeup, just not applying with the same techniques. Exactly. All right. That's a great tip, Sharon.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right. So I did have one final point. Well, I had several, but we'll have to do a part 2. The one I wanted to share though is which one? Okay, don't run out. When you spend the time to find the products that are good for you, this is the number one thing that I see. Being a beauty consultant, I find that people call me and they are desperate. They have run out. They have scraped the bottom of the barrel. They were busy. They meant to call. They meant to order. They meant to go online. They're out and they want it right then and there. They're desperate. And if you don't have it, they have to go to the store looking for something else and hoping that they find something that actually works. So my whether it's skincare, body care, hair care, makeup, my tip is plan ahead. Don't run out. So I really tried. Some of them do and some of them don't. I try to get my clients to get to. When they start on the second one, then order another one. They stay ahead that way. So don't let yourself get halfway through your last one and you don't have a second one, your replacement there. So, and some of them actually do it. And I tell you, they love it. They thank me. They say, that's the best tip you ever did. It's like losing your keys is the number one time waster on earth. That's documented. Looking for keys is the number one time waster on earth because people don't remember where they are. And running out of the things that you need is also one of the number one time wasters on earth and stress causers. Yeah. Okay, it causes stress. So my final tip is plan ahead, don't run out, and don't wait to the last minute to get what you need because anything can happen.
Right. And along with that, I would say if you're spending significant amount of money on a quality skincare, you need to protect your investment. And that would include sunscreen. No matter what tone, texture, male, female, any other species, they have sunscreen for dogs even. If you are spending money for skincare, you need to protect your investment. And even if you're not, you need to protect what you have, because the skin is the number one damager of skin in so many different ways.
This is true. This is very true. And I've had an even bigger education in there this year because I've been getting electrolysis hair removal. And if you can't do that if you don't wear sunscreen, I mean a high grade sunscreen, you can't get that done. You would regret it. You'll fix one problem and cause another bigger damage. So yes, but everybody needs it. And you know what? Even from infant, they have infant sunscreen. So got a newborn, we have newborn sunscreen. Okay. Even if you're not taking a baby to the beach, we still have newborn sunscreen, because if they're sitting in a car seat, an hour to get to work while you drop them off at the daycare to get to work, and they're in the hour in that car seat coming home while you're trying to get home, they are being exposed to massive amounts of sun. Okay.
And the windows in the car intensifies
Yes. Yes. This, and if you don't believe me, Google it. Absolutely, babies are getting sun damage from riding in car seats and in the commute to daycare and while mommy run errands. So that is just something that is not talked about a lot, but it's absolutely true.
And even when you yourself work in a building, you know how nowadays they don't have windows that open in buildings. You're in an air conditioning, recirculated air that is drying you out. So the moisturizer is necessary. And it's just recirculating environmental
toxins.
Toxins is a better word. I was like, cooties. So you need, even inside under fluorescent lights all day, you need to wear sunscreen.
Yes, yeah. Oh, that was a great one to hit
on. Yeah. So hopefully we gave you guys some things that will perk you up and make you think. And if you have any further questions about any of the things that we talked about, please feel free to message Lisa or myself. Mm-hmm. You can message directly coast to coast, and one of us will get it. And we will try to provide it.
Sharon will get it.
No, you get it sometimes.
Oh, you're on it better than me. I will give you that. So yes, we will get it though. We're just laughing and having fun, but we will get it. Okay, so we'll do another one, and maybe we'll do one that's just on makeup. So we'll kind of focus it just on beauty tips for makeup, and maybe that's what some of the our viewers are looking for, beauty tips on makeup. So I have a few of those too. Yes.
All right, ladies. So now I think, Lisa, we have come to the end of another successful Coast to Coast Beauty.
Yes. I mean, when we started this, I never thought that this time would go so fast. What I thought was, oh my goodness, how can we fill all of that time every week, week after week? But now I'm like, oh my goodness, we need to expand our time. So yes, it has. We have come to an end of another one, and it has been a great one. I think so. Well,
what's coming up soon, though, is our 6-month anniversary.
Wow.
2 weeks. We have 6 months.
Oh my God, I wasn't paying that much attention. 6 months. That's incredible. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Okay, we got to do something special.
We do.
Suggestions from our audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we appreciate our audience. We love our audience, our faithful viewers and our replay viewers, our faithful replay viewers who just show up, and we just appreciate and love you so much.
Yes.
So, Lisa,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and close it out. I am Sharon Davis on the West Coast.
And I am Lisa Washington on the East Coast. And we would like to say thank you for joining us. Hope you join us again next week. In the meantime, we hope you have a wonderful, prosperous, incredibly happy week. And we're going to kiss you goodbye.
Bye-bye.